Jerusalem. Let's return now to the war between Israel and Hamas. And Israeli forces say they are right at the gates of Gaza City currently. Let's bring in our military analyst, Sean Bell, who is monitoring the situation for us. Sean, great to have you with us and good afternoon to you. Just talk us through the latest situation on the ground right now.
Yeah, good afternoon, Kamali. As ever, intense fighting. The IDF are making inroads in towards Gaza City at the moment. We've got video footage being released by the IDF here. It shows their main focus is on the rural areas. The Gaza City was another challenge, but there's a lot of rural areas outside that have some villages, some little communities, and that's what they're working their way through. IDF claim that they've killed dozens, in their words, of Hamas fighters over the last 24 hours. Hamas, from their perspective at the moment, they've been conducting a whole series of ambushes on the IDF forces. They've used anti-tank weapons. We've got some footage here of the Hamas fighters that they've provided, minefields, all sorts of traps, and they've also been exploiting the tunnel network, which actually goes out into the urban environment as well. And the IDF have said that they've lost another one of their soldiers overnight. That takes the total up to 17 that they claim to have lost since the start of the counter-offensive. It's also worth pointing out that Israel also overnight have said that the number of hostages, we were talking about 228 or so, is up to 242 now that they've announced that they've lost. If we also just zoom out as well, just an update for the region, we're concerned about escalations. There's a lot of talk about Hezbollah up to the north, that this whole conflict would escalate. Hezbollah have announced that they've lost 50 fighters so far in the conflict to date. It's obviously quite a small border up there between Lebanon and Israel. Now, Hezbollah actually has a lot of weapons, rockets and stuff like that, that could actually get across the whole of Israel. So far, they haven't used them. So it's really interesting to see, despite these advances by the IDF, so far, Hezbollah has not actually stepped up and actually taken the conflict to another level.
I wonder how much it's got to do with the US fighter carrier groups in the region. So, look, how do you see the conflict shaping up in the next couple of days?
Well, we've always said this phase one of this conflict would probably be going through the outer defences and work its way towards the city itself, closing on Gaza City. That semi-rural environment, let's face it, IDF, Israel is a major military power. They want to use their advantages. And in the semi-rural area where the fields and green area is, that's where Israel can use satellites, drones, tanks, artillery. And even though Hamas will fight back, that's undoubtedly the area where they'll make most gains. And although Hamas will resist, frankly, you'd expect to see them gradually roll back. However, once the IDF gets to the outskirts of the city, it's a completely different game altogether. The conflict in the urban environment absolutely favours the defenders over the attackers. Often it's 5-to-1 ratio of casualties, and that's before you factor in the tunnels that obviously the Israelis will not know where they all are. That means Hamas will pop up all over the place. So it's going to be very, very difficult for that next phase. But I think, first of all, we're just going to see everything move in, ring of steel around Gaza City, and then we're going to see a massive escalation, I suspect, from there.
Tightening. All right, Sean, really appreciate that analysis. Thank you very much for that. For now.